Hey guys, so today's video I am gonna kind of just get like straight into it because I really don't know how to open this video, and also this video probably won't have a lot of editing, if any, and that's just because I don't know if I can honestly bear to watch the footage back. So if you see like a lot of mess ups in this or anything like that, that's the reason why. So the reason why I'm making this video, which you honestly don't even know what it's about yet, so I might as well just go ahead and like get it out of the way. This is definitely the hardest video I've ever had to make, and of course I don't have to make it, it's my choice, but it's by far the hardest I've ever had to make, and I hope to God it's the hardest that I ever have to make. Today, the day this is going up, is the day I filmed it. Today is April the 20th, 2020. And this day, 3 years ago, was the hardest day of my whole entire existence. It was the hardest day of my mom's life. It was the hardest day of my life. And it was the day that I lost my grandmother. Now, this video is not like anything that is normal on my channel, but the reason why I'm choosing to film this is because this was the worst thing I've ever went through, and you know, it's something that has shaped me. It's the worst thing, you know, it's something that's on my mind every day, and I've not really talked about it a lot. My YouTube channel was very new when this happened, and I actually made like a couple of minute short, it was a really short little video on my phone after it happened that went up, like explaining like I'm gonna be gone for a while. I really don't even remember what the video was about, but other than that I didn't really talk about it much. Sometimes I'll barely mention it and stuff, but never have I ever really deep down talked about it. And I kind of just thought that this year, a way that I could kind of grieve past and like get through the day is to kind of just talk about it, and so that's what I'm doing. So I'm doing it just to kind of process through this day, and also because it could help someone out there. Like, so many of us have suffered great losses, and you know, if you have, you know, maybe this will help you, knowing that you're not alone. And also I'm doing this in a way that I hope that I'm honoring my grandmother, because she deserves to be talked about. So basically, I'm not going to get into absolutely everything because there's no need to go into the little itty bitty gritty details of everything, because that would just be even more depressing, and I really don't want to like do that. But I just want to start out by saying my grandmother was 100% a second mother to me. In my life, in my family life, there's not many people who truly care about me and my family. I don't have that close-knit bond with my family as I wished. Like, I'm not close with my family. And growing up, my mom and my grandma were the ones who did everything for me. Literally everything. They are who took care of me, bought me everything that I needed, and all that kind of stuff, where pretty much no one else in my family did. And you kind of, do you know how, like, at least for me, you have those certain family members where you're just like, they're invincible, they're like not gonna die, like they're invincible, they're never gonna die, you know what I mean? Like, you just don't think it's gonna happen, especially soon. That's how it kind of was with her. And I like thought about this, making this video every night for the past few nights. Like, I've cried myself to sleep just thinking about it, like how I really just wanted to talk about it. And now that I find myself actually sitting here in front of the camera trying to talk about it, I am just all over the place. But this was my mom's mom, by the way. And I just want to start out by saying too that she did not go peacefully, and that's like one of the hardest parts about it. And it all happened pretty fast as well. She was really sick. Part of it was congestive heart failure, and that's, I won't get into like the really nitty-gritty details other than she was very sick, and it got really bad towards the end. And then also I do want to mention, because this story would literally blow your mind, and it would be like a story time video of all story time videos, but I'm not going to get into it because I don't feel safe getting into it. It is a lot of legal stuff. It involves a really bad person who did a very, very bad thing. They got my family into it, or me and my mom, literally tore us apart, did some really mean things. A lot of legal stuff is involved, and I just don't know that I feel really comfortable talking about it. But a lot of bad stuff went down. And then, like I said, my grandma was very sick, and me and my mom took care of my grandmother during this time. It was basically my mom who did most of it because she is a nurse. She is very much used to taking care of sick people, and she just did basically everything, although I did too. And it really sucked for me, because the part sucked for me was that I had to see my grandmother, number one, suffer, go through a lot. Number two, I had to see her at her worst, and it tore me to pieces every single day for like the last month of her life. But basically, I really want to just touch, I guess I'll just start out by saying that she was like the best grandmother you could ask for. And like I said, she was like a second mother to me. So this relationship was not a normal just grandparent relationship. It wasn't like I only saw her, you know, on holidays or occasionally. I saw this woman every single solitary day of my life. She lived right close to me, like right down the road, and it was me and my mom and my grandma. Like, it's always been us three, like my whole life. And I would visit her every day, and growing up, she would actually keep me throughout the week on certain days, and then the days where she didn't even keep me, we would still go over there. And I was technically at her house growing up more than my own because of like my mom and dad, how late they would work and all that kind of stuff. And so I was over there a lot. And then also, me and my cousin were my grandmother's like whole world. So she didn't like focus her time and energy on anything else really but us and her love for us. And growing up, I just remember a lot of times it would get kind of annoying as a growing up girl who was a teenager and was like, hey, meh. Like a lot of the time, because she would like always brag about us, and I would be like so embarrassed, I guess you could say. But like, that's what I'm trying to say. That's the type of grandmother that she was. And like I said, I was at her house literally all the time. And when I say this woman would have done anything, like she would literally smite anyone that came in my way, I swear I mean that. Like, I don't even know how much I can tell you that I mean what I mean, but I mean that. Like, she would have. And like I said, she would have done anything for me. No matter what it was, if I asked, she would have done it, because she cared for me. And she was definitely overprotective as well, and that was a struggle. We argued so much, and that's also because we are both very hard-headed. You may not think that I'm hard-headed from what you see, but like, if I'm very strong-willed, she's also very strong-willed, so we butted heads a lot. But that's okay, because also now I realize that it was just, it's fine. She was also a firecracker. She was a spitfire. She had a mouth. She could be very sassy, and if she didn't like you, like, you would know, which was quite embarrassing a lot of times as well. But it's okay, because, you know, even looking back now, I know that everything she did because she loved me, and she took care of me and would have done anything for me. And that's really why I'm trying to honor her today by coming on here and just like talking about that, because I feel like the world deserves to know what a wonderful woman she was and how she loved me and my mom and my nephew, oh my god, my cousin, her nephew, I mean her grandson. What? Anyway, how she loved us and how she cared for us, and I feel like everyone deserves to know that, and I want everyone to know that, because she was truly wonderful and she lived for us. Like, not for herself, she lived for us. But like I said, and of course, like I said, I saw this woman every day. Whether it was just a visit or her taking care of me. And also, I was a scaredy cat, so I didn't stay home alone at all up until I was 17 years old, because I was a scaredy cat. So she kept me up till I was 17, and she died when I was 19. So, or maybe I was still 18. No, I was 19. She died when I was 19, and so yeah. But like I said, she went in a really bad way. She had congestive heart failure. She also had really, really bad arthritis, and to the point where she was just in a lot of pain, and she refused to go to a nursing home. Like, she didn't want to, and it got where she couldn't walk, and just a lot of bad stuff. And I, unfortunately, I had to not only see her physically decline in health, but mentally decline in health, to where she just didn't remember anything, really. And this made me sick, because like I said, me and my mom had to take care of her. My mom had to do everything for her. We even had to have a sitter when my mom went to work. And there was some stuff that I couldn't do by myself, such as lift her and like do all that kind of stuff. So it was between my mom, me, and a sitter, and we did everything. And I had to see this happen. And there was this one time I went in there and I thought she had passed away. I mean, there was many days where I was screaming and crying, shaking. I couldn't walk straight, I couldn't do straight, I could not function. And the day she passed away, which, like I said, was 3 years ago today, I had gotten really sick. Like I said, it made me physically sick, to where I, of course, have a lot of health problems, but my heart started to act up, actually. And it was to the point where I was in the emergency room a couple of different times, and I actually had to be hooked up to a heart monitor and wear it for a few days, and then I had to have all these heart tests and all this different kind of stuff, because it was really affecting me, my health as well. And so the day that this happened, I actually had a heart appointment, and it was the doctor like giving me my results back of my test, and he said that my heart was fine. And this doctor was actually really close with my grandma. Anyway, we were there, and because my mom had to take me, and the sitter was with my grandma, and we had walked straight out of the doctor's office, and my mom got a text on her phone that says, "You need to get over here right now." And like, at that point, my mom, she kind of knew, and at that point it really hadn't registered with me. But we got there, and I said, "I'm gonna sit here because I don't want to go in, so just let me know." I remember sitting there, and then like 5 minutes later, I got a text on my phone. The worst text I've ever gotten. It said, "She's gone, come in." And so I remember getting out of the car, shaking, barely able to move. And the minute I walked in the house, I just collapsed on the ground and started screaming. And that was the day I lost one of the most important people in my whole entire life. Sorry. And so you may be asking, why are you doing this then? Like, why are you filming this? But like I said, I just felt like talking about things is really good for me. And if you have me on Twitter, you'll probably know I speak my feelings a lot, because like I'm that type of person that needs to talk about things. And so that's one reason why. And number two, I also thought this is so hard for anyone to go through, and it's always my mission to help somebody in some type of way. So I thought also, if I make this video and try to show that this happens to everybody, and if this has happened to you, maybe this is like a good session for you. Maybe this helps you if you have gone through something similar, whether it be a grandmother, a grandfather, a mother, a father, a best friend, a sister, a brother, a child, whatever. Maybe this will help you. And also, like I said, I really want to honor her, because I believe everyone needs to know how wonderful she was. And what I mean, that she would have literally killed a whole village if it meant protecting me. She would have, because she really cared about me and my cousin and my mom and my uncle. And by the way, she was not married, but in the last few months of her life, she actually had a boyfriend, which if you knew my grandma, that would have just been so weird. And you know, I'm not going to get too much in religion, but I am a Christian. My faith is strong, and I believe that God gave him in the last few months of life to have somebody extra. And there was just so many different things. And you know, I don't ever like to use the word died or even passed away, because I like just to say that my grandmother, like, she passed on, she's in heaven now. Because, you know, she's not, I mean, she may be dead, but like, she's not, she's alive in heaven, and I know that, and I feel that in my heart. I know she watches me every day. Like I said, she lived right by me, so I pass her house every single day of my life that I go out, and I pass her house, and I always think about it. And it's something that I will obviously never, it's something that I would forget. And if you've had someone pass away, the grief system is the weirdest thing in the whole world. First I denied it for a long time, and honestly, at first, I don't know if this is like that for like any of you guys. At first, I was like, I just want to forget everything. I just want to freaking forget everything. I was mad. I'm like, I don't want to remember, because if I remember, I'm going to be sad. I don't want to see any of her stuff. I just can't. I cannot do it. Whereas now, I really want to remember things. I want to talk about it more. I want to remember things more. I want to see her stuff. And I want stuff that reminds me of her. Sometimes I'll see certain like trinkets at a store, and it will remind me of something that she would love, and I would want it. So I would like get it. Even like certain types of clothes, if they're like really floral or something, I would be like, she would love that, and it would make me want it. And it's so weird, and I'm definitely out of the denial phase, although sometimes if I get really wrapped up, I'll be like, no, like that didn't happen. But in general, the grief process is really weird, and I'm still really new to all this, and I'm living through it and trying to figure it out. And basically, you know, you're never gonna get over it, you just learn how to cope. So many people said that, and it is so true. You just learn how to cope with it. You're always gonna be grieving. There's just different stages, and I'm in that stage right now where, you know, I kind of just explained. And oh my gosh, Kat, stop, she's trying to get anyway. And then actually 6 months after I lost my grandma, my mom's mom, we lost my papa, my mom's dad, who was my grandmother's husband, but they got a divorce. We lost him 6 months after. And like I said, something really terrible went on with my grandmother during the time that she was getting really sick too. A terrible person did a very terrible thing to her, and we had to suffer through that and the repercussions of that in court and just different things even after we lost her. And that was really hard too, obviously. And I still say a big F you to the person who did it to her. Well, I'm still not going to get into that, at least not right now. But anyway, that's pretty much it. I've talked so much already. And there was a lot more that honestly I would have wanted to say. and I never got the chance. I didn't really get the chance to say it because honestly my mind is all over the place and I really don't know what I've said and what I haven't said. But just to reiterate one more time, she was the best grandmother I could have had. We butted heads a lot, and that's because we were pretty much one and the same. I'm really realizing that now as I'm getting older. And if you're going through something like this, and you know, my DMs are always open. I'll talk to you, whatever. Hopefully this has helped you to realize you're not the only one, and I promise, like, it will get easier, but it won't ever go away, but it will get easier. And another thing I do want to say is it really sucks because today is 420 and so many people freaking make jokes about 420, and I don't have anything against what 420 stands for or anything like that, but it just sucks how so many people like post about it and are obsessed with it. And on this day, like, I have to pretty much stay away from social media because normally on any other regular day you don't get on your phone and see people be like, oh, it's 4/7. You get what I'm saying? But I have to go on there and see that, and it's so hard, so that makes it even more hard because I feel like I cannot ever escape that date. And it's something I dread every year, obviously, as April comes around. Easter has been so hard for me, and this has been the first year I've actually somewhat looked forward to Easter since she passed away. And I think it's because we're all in quarantine right now and there's nothing else to look forward to, so that was a little bit better this year. But yeah, it's all really weird, and if you ever need to talk about anything, my DMs are open. I love you, grandmother. Grandma. I don't know why I said grandmother, but grandma. And this was the worst thing that ever happened to me. I finally felt like it was time to open up and talk about it. Didn't really get into a lot of the details, but there we go. That's today's video for today because I really couldn't think about making anything else, and I just wanted to open up about this. Please subscribe to my channel. I normally don't make videos like this at all. Check out my channel. You'll see it's all about the betta fish and the other animals. I'm a betta breeder. Hello. But please subscribe to my channel. You can do that by hitting my face right up there. You can watch another one of my videos by clicking right over there. And I love you guys so much. I hope you have a great day or night or whenever you may be watching this, and I'll see you guys in my next video.